Hello friends, welcome to my channel InfoCraze. Today we are going to take up a topic which is very common in the field of accounts. It's very important to have a clear understanding on this topic and related terms whenever you get into the accounting profession as an audit intern or you take up an accounting job. If you find this video useful, please like the same and also subscribe to my channel for more such topics in the field of finance and accounts. So let's understand what is sales accounting. Sales accounting refers to the process of recording and tracking financial transactions related to the sale of goods and services. It involves documenting and summarizing the revenue generated from sales as well as the associated costs and expenses. The primary goal of sales accounting is to provide an accurate and comprehensive financial picture of a company's sales activities. Now let's look into some key terms in this area. Before getting into the accounting part, we should know some terms which are very common for any business. The first one, sales forecasting. What is sales forecasting? It is the process of estimating future sales based on historical data, market analysis, and other relevant factors. The primary purpose of sales forecasting is to provide insight into future sales trends. It helps businesses to plan and make informed decisions, allocate resources effectively, and set realistic expectations. Then we will understand sales target. The specific numerical goal or objective set for a defined period, usually in terms of revenue or units sold, is called the sales target. Normally, sales targets serve as benchmarks for measuring the success of the sales team and the overall business. Now we will understand the most important accounting term in this field, which is called the gross sales. This represents the total amount of revenue generated by a business from its primary operations before any deduction. It includes all the income generated from the sale of goods or services without subtracting any costs such as taxes, discounts or returns. So it is the total sales, which includes all of the things like taxes, discounts or returns. Now understand net sales. Net sales refers to the total revenue of a company after deducting certain deductions. What are they? Like you will deduct sales return, discounts, allowances and taxes. It provides a more accurate representation of a company's actual income as it reflects the revenue generated from the sale of goods or services minus the deductions. So this is the net amount after deducting all those items like sales return, discounts, allowances and taxes. Let us understand some more terms. One very important term in this field is revenue recognition. I'm sure some of you may be aware of this term. This involves recognizing and recording the revenue when it is earned and realizable. In many cases, you may know, revenue is recognized when the product or services is delivered to the customer and the payment is reasonably assured. So unless and until the item is delivered or the service is given, the revenue is normally not recognized. The next term we will understand is sales transactions. What do you mean by sales transactions? Each sale is recorded in the accounting system as a transaction. The entries typically include debit to accounts receivable if the sale is on credit or cash if the sale is for immediate payment and credits to sales revenue. Then you have sales return and allowances. If customers return products or receive allowances, adjustment need to be made to reflect these changes in the sales figure. This is important for accurate financial reporting. You must have also heard about the term discounts. Discounts offered to customers such as trade discounts or early payment discount should be accounted for to reflect the net sales revenue. So these all are very common terms which are very frequently used in sales accounting. Let us see some more terms. Accounts receivable. This is the amount of money owed to the company by customers for goods or services that have been delivered but not yet paid for. So these are your debtors. Then you have the cost of goods sold, the direct costs associated with producing or purchasing the goods that were sold. It includes costs like raw material, labor and manufacturing overhead. Now let us understand what is gross profit. Gross profit is the difference between net sales and the cost of goods sold. It represents the profit earned from the core business operations. Now let us understand what is deferred revenue. Deferred revenue, also known as unearned revenue or deferred income, refers to the payments received by a company for goods or services that have not yet been delivered or earned. In other words, it represents the money that a company has received in advance from customers, but the company has not yet fulfilled its obligations under the terms of the sale. So this is deferred revenue. Hope you have understood the terms that we have discussed till now. Now let us look into some more terms. One is doubtful debt. Doubtful debt refers to the accounts receivable for which there is uncertainty or doubt regarding their collectability. This is an interim stage in the process of assessing collectability. At this point, the company is uncertain about whether it will be able to collect the full amount owed by a customer. So that is the reason it is termed as doubtful debt. Next is the bad debt. Bad debt is a specific debt that the company has deemed uncollectible. It is an account receivable that the company has given up and have decided to write it off. So this is something which the company is not going to collect. Next, let us understand debtors aging analysis. This is the method used in accounting and finance to categorize and analyze accounts receivable on the length of time they have remained outstanding. This analysis helps organizations assess the health of their receivables, identify potential issues, and make informed decisions about collection strategies. Next, we have the debtor days. It is a measure of accounts receivable efficiency. It is basically the average number of days it takes for a company to collect payment from its customers after a sale is done. One more important term which we would like to understand is the freight on board, FOB. You must have heard this term many times. This is a shipping term indicating the party responsible for payment of transportation costs. FOB origin means the buyer is responsible, while FOB destination means the seller is responsible. With this, we come to an end of this presentation. If you have any doubt or want me to provide more details on this topic, you may write in the comment section so that I can make part 2 of this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do the same so that you get instant notification for my future videos. Thank you very much for your support.